Alright, so Arise just dropped a big update. I know this is a bit late to it, but the update mainly including, if you've been sleeping and haven't noticed, this is going to be the Infernal Castle. So you might want to check this out if you haven't. So the Infernal Castle is buffed drop, better floors, actual like increased really good rewards, and it's honestly like it's a really good update. Like it's going to include more than just the normal dungeon drop, so you can actually get a decent amount of loot out of this update. But in today's video, I'm going to be going into everything about the Infernal Dungeon, what you need to know about it, how to effectively grind it, especially including the G rank unit right here that you can easily obtain. That's going to completely outrank Biru. Like he's probably the best unit you can commonly obtain now, especially considering the times for how commonly this event is going to spawn in. But also, as a note, we got a little extra, information that's going to be at the end of this video, so you should probably stick in until the end. So the Infernal Castle is pretty much going to be dropping it drops a lot of gems and a decent amount of money too. So whenever you're grinding the units of it, like the NPCs throughout it, eventually they're going to start getting you a more gem and definitely a lot more cash. So if you do destroy the shadows, you can start getting S to SS rank. So, and I think if you're definitely an early game player, this is going to be really beneficial because you can easily start pulling S rank ones from this really fast. Like I was testing this on an alt account and was able to start pretty effectively getting good S rank units pretty early into the attack, and this really helped push my progress really fast on that account. So if you want to check out the thing, what's going to happen is, so around, you'd say like the 45th minute of the hour, so say 6 o'clock, at 6:15 you'll have the Jeju Island raids. 6:30 there will be a normal dungeon, like at 6:30 right now, and that Brum Island one just spawned in. And then there's also going to be the 6:45, the Infernal Castle is going to spawn in. Now the Infernal Castle is not only going to probably also once again be like really good boss drops, there's also going to be a really good amount of powder dropped. Like I did not do any grinding, I've just played the dungeon a few times, and tickets as well. That's another good thing to know. You're gonna get a ton of powder out of this thing. Like I'm talking, you could probably start to farm a good 100 or so powder, and since you can also get a lot of legendary powder out of like boss drops if you want to kill them, since there is a boss drop every 5 floors, you're going to pretty much efficiently farm. So if you're trying to get rare dust powder, so if you're trying to get the Reaper Scythe and get a good enchant on it, you can easily come to the exchange shop and exchange rare powder for legendary for rare powder, and then common for rare powder. Just try to farm rare powder if possible, and easily, like this is probably going to be the best way to get rare powder now, really increasing like the more, because it used to be you could really only get rare powder like effectively through AFK rewards, and now it seems more like it's balanced. Like you can actually get better, rewards from actually grinding and playing the game instead of just directly grinding, which is actually I really like. And so the way that the thing is going to work is, so there's like, I think it was set a 40% increased chances on dust drop, so you're gonna get 40% more dust sort of on average. And also with the new potions, you can easily get better rewards. So if you come to shop, if you want to do this before, you can use like a increased drop chance on items by 50% for 10 minutes. You won't really spend only 10 minutes in the dungeon, you'll probably spend a good bit more, but that's just something to note, is you're going to definitely be able to grind dust a lot better. You even get to the point, if you get further into the dungeon, where you can start getting legendary and rare dust pretty commonly from normal NPCs. Now what it's going to work is, you're going to start off with the normal 15 minutes as a normal dungeon, but you're going to have 100 floors. I have now currently not been able to get past floor 35. Like I could probably get a bit further, but I just gave up after that, because for the main rewards, like getting this G rank unit right here, it's not really worth it going past number 30, and I don't really think anyone really can. I know if you have like the highest rank monarch or whatever, this unit alone can start dealing a quadrillion, and if you get into a guild, which if you didn't know, they also added guilds, you could probably equip a full team of them and also get an 8th unit. I think you can equip more with a guild. And honestly, you could have a pretty solid team just out of these alone. But so what it's going to do is, now so it used to be every time you completed a floor, you would get like an extra 30 seconds. They increased this to a full minute. So every time you complete a floor, so if you're really like pushing it, you could easily stack up to like half an hour of time extra by the time you start getting to the floors that are going to take a bit of time to clear, which is really nice. And now bosses drop tickets. I think they give you all types of dust, and they're actually way bigger, which is really great because they're pretty big, like visually, which is kind of funny. But the way the floor system is going to work, so every 5 floors there's going to be a boss drop, which scales like this. So from floor 1 to 15, you're going to be going against A rank enemies, and if you arise them, you can get them as an A rank. And then floor 16 to 29, well, those are only going to be S rank units that you can rise. Now once you get to 30 and beyond, now like like, this sucks, but you can get SS rank units. Now, 30 and beyond, like, these units' health are going to be, they're insane. Like, they're hundreds of quadrillions, and it gets to the point where your usual unit you're trying to fight is going to have quintillions of health, like QI. Like, you're used to the quadrillions, like QA, bro. It gets to the QIs. I'll be honest, when I first saw the patch notes, I was like, oh, well, no, you know, another dungeon. But there's a big difference. Like, it's way different. The whole mechanics system is a lot better, especially for grinding. You can get better loot, better reward, especially if you are able to push to the G rank. Because what it used to be was like the Biru was the best unit you could commonly get. Like, unless you're able to somehow pull an in-rank Monarch, the G rank Biru is going to be the best unit you can get. And now they've made it to where you can, like, pretty consistently, like, with actual grinding, like, you don't have to have the max team and, like, try to hyper focus on getting, like, you know, the SS Reaper Scythe. Totally does not take a lot of time at all. But they've made it to where you can, like, with grinding, you could probably get the G rank unit pretty well. And it's going to make it to where, like, I think they're leveling out where shadows are also part of what's going to really boost your damage, your DPS, because it used to be like shadows and then, well, now it's weapons, and now I think they're finding a good balance in between both. But the good thing about the dungeon, though, once again, is more than just those rewards. It's going to mainly just be the items you can get from it. Like, I only have sharpness 7. That's pretty good, but I kind of do want to try to get some other enchants on this. And since I can grind consistently, like, if I look at this means I can get 966 rare powder out of this, and then this I can get almost 90 rare powder out of it. So I can definitely farm rare powder pretty consistently. But the floor system is going to be pretty difficult, considering the first 15 floors. Those really set the pace. If you can get through the first 15 floors, like, wasting no time, you can stack up a good, like, 10 to 20 minutes of extra time. But once again, these are pretty easy floors. Then you get to, like, the 16 to 29 range, and then you really start to slow down. But what I would recommend, though, if you are trying to get to this unit, the G rank one, to get to floor 30, dude, you're going to have like a pretty consistent, I would say, like 10 to 15 quadrillion DPS. Now, I know this kind of limits the abilities, but, like, once again, dude, this unit is so worth it. And just the dust and stuff you can get from the first, like, 15 to 20 floors, like, I'd honestly say if you can get, like, your hands on a good B rank, maybe an A rank Reaper Scythe, like, you don't want to grind, obviously, to get the SS one, I would totally recommend just going from, like, floor, like, maybe 15 or so until you really start to slow down, and then just settle there, just get the boss drops and leave, and then redo it, because you can easily rerun that and really effectively farm powder. And you could probably run like 2 or 3 dungeons per 10 to 15 minutes when it's actually spawned in. And also, as a note, the developers are actually working on a really cool looking UI change. So the UI right now, it just, I don't know, it just looks kind of like bright colored, like you would see with most common games. They're making it look like actually cool to fit the, like, you know, magic blue and black theme that you really get from solo leveling and the shadows. And they're actually making it all, like, fit this, and it's gonna be really nice once they fully implement this. But I would definitely say make sure you try to grind this Infernal Castle, because same with Jeju Island, they nerfed it to, like, a one-time thing. If they end up nerfing this and completely removing it, you might want to take advantage of this for loot if you can right now. But comment down below, what's the highest floor you've been able to reach? Because, like, I've only been able to get to, like, 34. So comment down below and make sure to leave a like, and see ya.